I love Carl. I love Princess Donut. I almost said R.F. Kuang. I think it's because I'm thinking of Calabasas right now. Yo. Ah! Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. Today I wanted to go over everything that I read in August. These are not going to be in any particular order. I'm just going to start with the shortest book to the biggest book. So the first book that I want to start with is Dawn Shard by Brandon Sanderson. This is a novella. I gave this book 3 stars. It was good. It's just, if you're not reading through the Store My Archive series or reading the entire Cosmere, it's really not a necessary book to read. There are definitely other books by Brandon Sanderson I would recommend. So that one was kind of just like a passerby novel or novella. The next book that I read was Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. This book is 96 pages. It's super tiny. It's a novella. I enjoyed it just fine. I believe I also gave this one 3 stars. It was okay. It just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be more horror, more thriller, scary, and it was more just like eerie. It talked more about family trauma, and I did like that it did touch on a different like culture and different things that I am not familiar with, so I did enjoy that aspect of the book, but I think I was just expecting something different, and so I went into it. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. It took me a week to read this 96 page book, so 3 stars. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't what I was expecting. Next is Big Fan by Alexandra Romanof. I just recently read this book in my last video. It's good. I haven't really been into romance recently, so I was hesitant to pick this one up, but it definitely paid off. Again, it's a novella. It's less than 200 pages. It was fast-paced. It had a lot of political aspects to it, but it wasn't like super heavy per se. I definitely would recommend it to somebody if they enjoy fast-paced romances. I'm more of a slow burn, so it wasn't 100% on my alley, but it definitely did help me kind of get back, well, not necessarily get back into the romance genre, but it definitely helped me dip my toes back into the romance genre, because I was a little bit stagnant for a little second there, not really into romance, but I did definitely enjoy this book. I also think this cover is so cute. This is the 831 published edition, like these published books that they did, 831 stories, and I think they're just so cute. They're all like different shades of like pinks and purples and stuff like that. Very, very cute. So I don't actually have the physical book for this one, so I don't know how big it is per se, but the next book is Wool by Hugh Howey. This is a very, very sci-fi heavy book, at least for me. I don't read a ton of sci-fi. I'm getting into sci-fi, but it definitely was more than what I am used to. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I think that, again, if I maybe had read more sci-fi and then read this, I think I might have given it a higher rating. I thoroughly enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the characters. I do want to go on to the second book. It's just not at the top of my list. So I would recommend this book to people who enjoy sci-fi, but if you're getting into sci-fi, I would maybe start with something else. I'm in the middle of reading Red Rising right now, and that book is phenomenal. I know that everybody's raving about that book right now, but it is genuinely so good. So I would probably recommend that book first, and then maybe Wool once you're kind of into the sci-fi world. If you have any recommendations, or if you are a big sci-fi person, please drop your books in the comments. I would love to get more into sci-fi and hear your guys' reviews and comments about other sci-fi books. So the next book that I read is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book was absolutely phenomenal. Again, this was one of the books that I read in my last bookish video, and this book made me cry on multiple occasions. This book was absolutely amazing. The characters are phenomenal. You just love them so much and you are rooting for them. Taylor Jenkins Reid just has this magical touch in the way that she writes characters. And I also loved like the representation in this book. I loved all the character dynamics. I loved all the different like types and styles of relationships that this book showcased. And I know it says a love story, and it definitely does have romance in it, but there is so much more to this book than just a romance. I would not categorize this book as a romance novel. I categorize it as lit fic with a little bit of romance, and this book is so good. Next is Carl's Doomsday Scenario by Matt Dinniman. I love Carl, Dungeon Crawler Carl. I love Carl. I love Princess Donut, but the Dungeon Crawler Carl series is so good. This is the second book in the series. I just bought the third one. It's actually right here. Carl's Doomsday Scenario was genuinely such a good time. This book was so fun. You definitely can start to see all of the underlining themes that are happening in this book and all the character development that you're getting set up for. I think Donut is already showing a lot of that. We're finally getting to meet more people, more crawlers, and kind of seeing how the world is playing out, and I genuinely enjoy that so much. The first book was all fun and games and raunchy jokes, where this one actually kind of dove more into the actual politics of the world a little bit. I'm sure there's like 7 or 8 books in the series, so I'm sure it's going to get much deeper. I hope it does, but this book definitely is incredible. I think that if you are hesitant or if you've been thinking about reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, take this as your sign. Please read this series. It is amazing, and I could not hype this book up more. It's a little bit raunchy, but if you don't mind those types of things, then I would definitely pick this up. It does also have like that video game-esque type of vibe, but if you are totally just okay with all of those things and you want a fun, good time book with characters that you want to continuously root for and you are behind them every step of the way, I would definitely recommend Dungeon Crawler Carl. And the audiobook is also phenomenal. I listened to the first one and physically read the second, and my experience, honestly, I thought my experience was better physically reading it, but the audiobook is just incredible. The narrator, I don't remember his name, but he is so good. He does so many different voices, and I could not rave about him more. The last book is Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab. I almost said R.F. Kuang. I think it's because I'm thinking of Calabasas right now. Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil by V. Schwab was my bookstore, my pop-up bookstore's book club pick for August. I was not the biggest fan of this book. I gave this book 3 stars. I thought the writing was beautiful. V. Schwab's prose are just absolutely gorgeous. She's a phenomenal writer. Like, nobody is trying to argue that. I felt like there wasn't a lot to the plot. It was all characters, but I hated them. I hated every single one of them. And it just, and I know you can have a book with unlikable characters and the book still be amazing, and that just didn't hit for me. And I understand that people love this book, but it was fine. I definitely would recommend it to people if you love sapphic novels, vampires, yearning, hunger, books about female rage. I would definitely pick this book up. I would definitely recommend this book to you, but for me personally, it wasn't my favorite, and that's okay. Reading is subjective and everybody has their own opinions, and that's what makes reading so fun and being a part of the bookish community, is that everybody has their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and we can all come together and talk about them. Those are all of the books that I read this month in August. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment down below the books that you read in August, your favorite book of August, and maybe your least favorite book in August. Also, what you guys are planning on reading in September. I would love some ideas. My TBR for September is very small, so I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, and I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!